let's take it back a few years to the early 2000s, about '03 or so. This is the era when post grunge had stopped its dominance, its reign on modern music, especially in the rock genre, had ended. And things were in flux, you could say, in limbo. And out of this limbo arose an album that not only fit a niche, but, a niche that pretty much nobody knew, goth metal, you could say. Not only that, this album combined many of the best elements of the era. Also, this band arose out of seemingly nowhere. And also, this album was a highlight to things to come. And with all that being said, this is the greatest albums, Fallen. Now, Evanescence, man, when they hit the scene with this album, when this album dropped, their, I guess you could say, debut album, it took the world by storm. Like I said, goth metal. Nobody knew this needed to be filled. But in the wake of, like I said, the post-grunge era ending in about '02, early 2000s, right? It had quite a long run from the days after the, Nirvana, Cobain's unfortunate, death. Some say suicide, I don't buy it. But anyways, from '94 to about '02, you had post-grunge just ruling most things. And also you had this culture, the goth, emo culture at the time was on the rise. And they were getting music, more on the punk side, kind of lighter punk side. But this album was just special. Even now, still special because of the haunting elements, because of the phenomenal melodies, because not so much harmony, but the experimentation with different genres. You had piano playing a lot in it. You had the string elements, the string instruments, as in violins and whatnot. You had metal going on, obviously, but there was other, a softer, sometimes seemingly pop side to it. So it had a lot for pretty much everybody. And then there was the songs themselves. Starting off this album, Going Under, one of the most recognizable songs of the 2000 decade, okay? Going Under. It just comes out off the gate, power chord. And we hear what's her name? I can't believe Amy Lee. Doggone. I couldn't believe I almost forgot the woman's name. Her voice just comes in. Fitting. And then not only that, we get the strong, but then she takes it up to the higher registers and it becomes this airy kind of feel. And then she drops back down. So it's like this, it's this merge of two distinct things. This haunting, soft, classical vibe, gothic, kind of how the old gothic architecture was, these lofty, wide, not wide, lofty kind of buildings, lofty kind of, the architecture. Go look it up. My bad. It's slipping my mind how to describe even the gothic architecture, and also the painting. But not only that, that classical vibe meshed actually beautifully with metal. I don't think we've ever had that before, at least to this degree of magnitude. You could say arguably perfection. It was a beautiful harmony on the sounds. So Going Under, and then you feel the emotion. Amy Lee expressed emotion quite excellently in this song. In song number 2, track 2, Bring Me to Life. Again, another hit. This album produced so many memorable songs from the 2000s era, especially the early 2000s. Bring Me to Life. This song, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Skillet's vocalist, the singer, the male singer, he was on this because it sounded very much like Skillet. You know what we later got from Skillet. Yeah, it sounded very much like their vibe. But Bring Me to Life, like, it's great. You know, the sound of the song sounded like Skillet, but the message of the song, how do you even describe it? Just go listen to the song. It's up for personal interpretation. And that's the beauty about most of this album. It's up for personal interpretation. Some take it to a religious extent. Others take it to a not so. You know, this song it brings a personal feel, even more than Going Under. You know, Going Under, you could say, was more depressing kind of view. This one is kind of a get up and rise kind of thing. So, you know, we see contrast already in the first two songs. Now, Everybody's Fool. Honestly, musically, like, for most of the song, is nothing special. It's, you know, what you get from the early 2000s post-grunge kind of metal-ish kind of thing. I mean, I'm talking musically wise. But there's a part in there that makes, you know, that beautiful aspect of this album. You hear that piano playing whatever in about the middle of the song that just makes it like yes. And then, you know, the message of this song was really the focus. And it starts off seemingly but as you continue with the story of the song, you know, you can relate. It's something that sticks with you. Track 4, My Immortal, definitely the best song on this album, hands down. This song here, man, I remember I was first actually introduced to this song. My friend and on actually her YouTube channel, Owlay. Shout out to Owlay. But she did a cover, and I'm like, well, actually, I had already heard the song but you know, she even made me like it even more. But I heard the song, y'all know the Evanescence Vivo. But on this album, it's not with the, you know, the rock, how do I say this? With the metal, it doesn't have the metal break in there, okay? The metal bridge, whatever, that, you know, instrumental. It actually still continues with the piano play. In this song, man, this song is just powerful. That's all I need to say throughout it. And it really highlights the gothic part of the Fallen album. So it was just, you know, you can argue to say it was Evanescence's best song. You really can. I mean, I can't really describe it too well. It impacts every person different. Now, it may not be every person's vibe, but to me, My Immortal, like, she described the way she described her feelings and in this relationship. It's just beautiful. Pretty much everybody can relate to some point or another. And Haunted, I mean, first of all, the title is a dead giveaway to kind of how this vibe's gonna be. This song, out of all the songs on this album, is, you could say, musically, like, as far as in the vibe, it's definitely the, you know, the crux of what this album brings you. The gothic, I mean, the haunting melodies, and then Amy Lee's voice is going, you know, from this, you know, kind of how you would hear, not necessarily a horror movie, but, you know, that kind of vibe, but also takes you to just beautiful sounding. So it's seemingly like a Clash, but a Clash that just comes out with just a product that's excellent. And Tourniquet, I ain't gonna lie, like, about a week or so ago when I was looking up, I had to look up what that actually meant, and it made even the song make even more sense. My God, my tourniquet. It's like a wrapping for a safeguard, kind of like a bandage, but it's a little bit more than that to stop bleeding and stuff like that. And this song, musically, is not that strong. It's a good song musically, but it's nothing to write home about. But really, the message of it gives you that Never Alone by Barlow Girl vibe. Okay, that kind of, if you ever know the song, you know what I'm talking about. But for those who don't know that song, I say go check it out. If you don't know that song, it's kind of a cry out to God, to Christ, like, I'm alone here. Times are tough. I need you, but I have faith that you'll deliver. But it comes from a more somewhat a depressing side. This one isn't quite as though seemingly depressing, then, well, not depressing, but not come from depression, not come from as low a point as Barlow Girl's Never Alone, but at the same time it's still a cry out. And what makes it even so different than most things from gospel or anything else is, like I said, the quality of the sound, the tone of Amy Lee, the gothic, feel to the song. It's like it takes you to, it transports you to like this whole other area, whole other dimension, sort of, because it's like, this is a cry out, but it's such an airy kind of feel that it's like, what's going on here? This isn't, seemingly depressing, even though it's somewhat, you can feel the message of what she's saying. So it's quite interesting if you really sit down and analyze it. Now, with the song Imaginary, this song here, it's a surprising one. Musically, probably the best song on the album, really is. That's all I really need to say for that. The Matches is of course great, like I said, musically played, it's probably just downright the best song on the album. Doesn't mean it's the best song, but musically, from a musical standpoint, instrumental wise, probably the best song on the album. Taking Over Me, this song, it was probably the most balanced song as far as in, like I said, musically. Most certain songs on this album take over. It's a music, you could see it's more focused on the music. Other songs on the message. This one, you have a nice, good balance of a song, and it's definitely one that makes it definitely one of the best songs on the album. One of the top 5 songs on this album. And Taking Over Me, you feel, well, top 5, top 6. It's debatable with the next song whether that's in the top 5 or not. But Taking Over Me, you feel the emotion, and that's really the key on the song. When you have a balance of music and the message, it's really about the emotion, the delivery, and Amy Lee delivered it beautifully. What was going on, and the music pretty much just enhanced the message, you can say. Now, as far as in Hello, this song was a bit of a surprise. I'll be forgetting about this until I just was listening to this again like an hour or so before I did this video, right? And this song, though, how do I even describe this song? This is one of those songs that is just like, yeah, okay. It's a surprise. I think this is the most surprising song on this album. Well, I'll just leave it at that and let the listener decide, what. Just that once you get to the song on this album, Hello, you'll be surprised. You'll just be surprised. It's like, whoa, this is like, it goes along with the gothic metal vibe, but it's just like, you're just not expecting it. Let's just put it that way. You're just not expecting it. The story and everything, it's different. It's even different from this album. So that was excellent to see. And stuff like that. When you get surprised on an album, that shows how great that album is. I'm not talking about surprise in a bad way. No. I'm not talking about crap. Just it's like, whoa, hey man, what is this? I want to take my headphones off, my earphones. Get it out. No. I'm like surprised. It's like, whoa, this is like a nugget that I wasn't expecting. Because the title, Hello, really, oh, okay, whoa. And track 10, my bad. Track 10, probably the weakest song on the album. Not saying it's bad, just like I said with the Doors the Doors album. These weak songs on this album are solid. It's just, compared to everything else, this is weak. It really is. I was listening to it. I forgot I was listening to the song until practically the end of the song. It I mean, it's full. You know, it's become. I wouldn't even say par. It's weak compared to every other song. It's a good song, you know, musically and whatnot, but it's just nothing. You know, especially after Hello. You come from Hello, and then you come to that, and it's just like, you know, maybe it's an unfortunate placing in the album. You know, we've heard a lot of the gothic vibe. We've heard a lot of the metal and the different elements, so you've gotten used to it. You could say that. At least that's my take of it. You know, you can give me your thoughts on it. Now, the last song, Whisper. Whisper, you could say just is pretty much par for the course. It's not the greatest ending song I've ever heard on the album. Definitely not. It's not that it's a terrible song. It's just, compared to, I mean, My Immortal, Hello, Going Under, Bring Me to Life, Imaginary, you know, it falls a bit short. It falls, even taking over, it falls a bit short in your expectation by the end of this album. It's a good song. It's a, well, I should say decent song, but again, it's nothing to write home about. Unexpected Wonder, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me y'all thoughts on this album. If you've never checked this album, you've never checked it out, I don't know what's wrong with you. I guarantee you've heard one or more of these songs sometime if you've lived in the past decade. I mean, this album, man. This album was progressive. This album filled, you know, a niche that very few even knew that needed to be fit. You could say so much about this album. I could talk about the impact of this album in a whole separate video. That's how powerful the impact was of this. But like I said, tell me y'all thoughts. You know, check this album out. And like, comment, subscribe, and hope y'all have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.